What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And if you guys are unaware, recently a game called Evolve, published by 2K Games, has been released. And this game has a bit of a PR disaster on its hand, and I would like to talk to you a little bit about the curious case of Evolve. Now, this game, if you're unfamiliar with it, is what we call an asymmetrical team-based shooter. The teams are unevenly matched. The first team is played by one person, and that person plays one of several different types of monsters that runs around the map, killing monsters, eating up the corpses, and eventually evolving into its final form, trying to complete its objective. The other team is comprised of hunters, whose job it is to hunt and murder this particular monster. And for the most part, the game is pretty fun. I think they could have done more to give the hunters more stuff to do rather than just a chase, but I still think it's fun to play either the monster or whatever. And the game is doing pretty well. It's setting at about an 86 over on Metacritic. Most reviews seem to be favorable. YouTubers are liking it, and it's currently one of the most watched Twitch streamed games available. The controversy surrounding the game that's got a lot of players who say they refuse to ever play it unless it goes on sale or even if they get it free is the fact that during its development cycle, the developers were very open, maybe even brazen, about the fact that it was built similar to a freemium game, that it was going to be a DLC hub, and that they had every intention of selling you downloadable content, skins that make your characters or their weapons look different, but more importantly, individual characters and individual monsters, which could also be lumped into a season pass, would be downloadable, and these, of course, are things that are going to impact the game. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's lots of shooters like that out there that have existed and will continue to exist. It's a good business model. What separates this game from most of them is they also want full retail for you to buy into the game to start. Now, just before this game got released, one of the developers of the game said in an interview that they despised being accused by the player base of us hating the fact that they were making this DLC and that they maybe were doing something shady or wrong. He said that they've always been open about it, they've always been honest about it. They're making some very consumer-friendly choices, like making sure that all map packs are entirely free so they don't fragment the player base. But he also reminded us of this one simple fact, that they had over 100 families who were depending on this game being successful in order for them to get taken care of, and that this game had to make its money back, and the $60 buy-in price simply wasn't going to be enough to make sure that happens. Now, not to disrespect the developers, the players have a very good reason to be upset. It'll cost you $60 to buy a retail version of the game. Then, in the DLC store at launch, there's $60 worth of skins that you can pay for. And if you want to get the characters that are included in the Season Pass, both hunters and monsters, that's an additional $25. $145 is the cost of the full version of Evolve, and that's absolutely unheard of. What's particularly frustrating is that there's already just a small number of monsters, a small number of characters, and a small number of maps to play on. Even if you got all of this stuff for your $60, I can't say that that's a good value. The game is fun. I mean, it's really fun. I've enjoyed streaming it. I played it even when I'm not streaming it. I plan to stream it all the rest of this week. I like being the monster. I like hunting him down. I think it's awesome. It's just a matter of the value of $1 and whether or not this game stretches your dollar far enough. This situation begs a lot of questions. Is this just the future of AAA games? And if so, why? Could it be that they're trying to cash in on the freemium market because they need the money to pay the 100 families that would otherwise starve, according to this Evolve developer? Or is it a matter of greed? Is the entire system busted because we're expected to pay too little for a video game at only $60, the same price I was paying 10 years ago? Do we need to try to raise the price to $80 so that players don't have to deal with this bullshit? Or is this just the future? Is this the system that we'll have to deal with from here on out? And that thought almost makes me want to quit gaming altogether. And you know who really suffers from this? the developers over at Evolve, the families that they're talking about counting on it, as well as the gamers. Because right now, I would love to recommend you buy Evolve. I'd say you're going to get your $60 worth. The game is a lot of fun. You'll really enjoy it no matter what system you play it on, and it's fantastic. But because of this bullshit pricing structure, I just can't recommend you do that. I recommend you wait until you can get the game on discount. The problem with that is it's a player versus player shooter, and by the time it's on discount, there's going to be a lot less people to play, so it's going to be a lot less valuable. Choosing to overprice the game now has ultimately meant that the game will never be worth the value that you'll get out of it, and that sucks. Because it's this kind of thinking outside of the box, unique gameplay and game style that gets me right here as a gamer and makes me want to wholeheartedly recommend that game to everybody who will listen. But I just can't do that when business practices stand in the way, and that sucks for everyone involved. Evolve does prove one thing, that the gaming industry is indeed evolving. I don't know if I like the monster it's turning into, though. And I'm curious to see what you think. So guys, do me a favor. Leave your comment in the comment box below. Have you bought Evolve? Are you frustrated with the DLC? Are you boycotting it? Are you trying to get it on sale? What is it you're doing with Evolve? And what do you think about this controversy? I always love to know. Thanks for liking this video, by the way. And make sure that my videos show up in your feed so you will never miss a video. And it really helps me out a lot because I love it when you guys watch my vids. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. I love you. And I'll speak with you soon.